Hey, I'm Dennis DiCarlo. Started in the flooring business when I was very young. I was 24 years old and was looking to do something for myself, and probably should not have started my own business in hindsight because I didn't have any money. Relied on credit card debt in a dream and was very fortunate. Had help from people along the way, but worked very hard. Started it based on some core principles and the things that I believed in myself and my desire to control my own destiny. I don't think I realized potentially how difficult it would have been, so I might not have got into it. I had a very supportive wife. We were married young at 23, so slowly grew the business over time, and from that kind of meager beginning. It was really not a great strategic plan that people, I think I see business plans and all. It was with the job I was in, it was a real estate business. So I was able to access buying flooring directly from the mills for our rental business, and had that contact set up. And I was 24, I didn't know anything. So I was like, well, I know how to buy this, and doing math on the back of a napkin that never really ended up being what I thought it would be. It was just only thing other than the real estate I had done that I had any experience with. So I jumped into it. A little bit about the history with that. We actually were working out warehouses and slowly evolved into doing some retail, selling material only, then looked to get into full retail and got a location here in Charlotte, North Carolina. It was larger than I needed. It was kind of like a lot of things, just evolve and change based on the circumstances. So we went into a full retail mode with a showroom and stocking products. And that's kind of become our model since then. We grew with areas in the Charlotte area to Mooresville, which is a suburb to the north, and then to Concord as well. And then eventually made it to Charleston, South Carolina, based on some relationships we developed. And the store there has grown to the extent that we are now in a 30,000 square foot beautiful location down there. Just recently, we moved into Winston-Salem, and we're looking to expand and grow opportunities. The ability to be larger allows us to have a better buying power. The fact that we stock products allows us to have better buying power and better prices on the stocking goods themselves. So we're definitely family oriented, but we're also big enough that we can get savings and pass those savings on to our customers. The essence of the business has been doing it for the right reasons and sticking to those principles all the time. I read Stephen Covey when I was very young, starting the business, and he had principles that were set forth, and you had to kind of write out your own mission statement. And I did that. Not that we're perfect all the time, but we aspire to those principles that run our business. Those guiding principles we put in our stores, we remind everybody. I go over it with every new employee and say, these are the things we stand for. And I think once you start with a set of principles, those principles drive your business through the people that represent you and through the structure and the systems you set up in your business. They are there to serve the customer, and for ourselves, it lays principles on how we treat each other with respect. And when you treat each other with respect, that reflects onto your customers, and those are our common goals. I think what's really unique is the size of our business. We're big enough that we can buy with buying power, and I think consumers don't really understand how pricing works with manufacturers, but we're able to secure very good prices. We're big enough to be able to buy in volume, but we're also a unique combination of what the flooring trends have been, where a lot of companies are selling exclusively in the home, and others are more traditional based, where you have a showroom and you have sales reps that work out of those showrooms. Our basis is to be flexible for the consumer's needs, not for the company's needs. And that's a core thing that I'll say over and over, is that we are customer focused, not corporate focused. So we establish the fact that if a consumer wants us to come to their home, we'll come to their home. We think that we work harder to serve their needs because we have showrooms and we have a lot of displays, that we try to narrow down what it is they want within their budget rather than bring the products that just serve our needs. Then we are very receptive to working with people if they want more time to think, and then you want to come in potentially and realize they need to look at the showroom because of the larger selection than they expect. And then we're very adapted, putting products together that's a consumer's need by asking them questions about what they need so that we can find the product that fits in the budget for them, not trying to squeeze products that we want them to buy, which a lot of people do. first and foremost to be served for their needs. So if they call, we're here for them. We go through a process where we ask questions. What is it that you want? People buy flooring 2 or 3 times in a lifetime sometimes. They're unfamiliar with new trends, new products, how that fits into a budget, where we try to ask questions. What it is that you're trying to accomplish, from styling, from use, your lifestyle habits, if you have pets, kids, what are the things you're trying to achieve? And then we go through the process of working with them to work with products that fit those needs within the budget that they're looking. So I'd say what they expect from us is a partnership in trying to figure out their needs from the beginning, rather than just pushing products or just showing them around quickly to a set of products. They're not being educated by people that are flooring professionals, and they don't maybe even understand with some of the new products that are on the market exactly what those features are. So we educate, and then we come to a solution together. We did a mission statement when I first started. We actually, as a company, came up with a mission statement together. I have frankly gone back more to the mission statement that I created from the beginning, because I think they are the core principles that speak to that what we believe in and what's important. And one of them is there are no gray areas, be truthful always. Another one is treat each other with the utmost and highest level of respect. These are, I think, simple to understand things that we always aspire to do, and we put it out there, so it's not just something you kind of put up on a mantle and look at. We put it into action. We talk about it when, again, we're hiring, we have our meetings, we say these are the things that were important, and if we ever fail to do that, we talk about why we do those things and what's important to us. From the customer standpoint, the fact that we try to live that within our own business with our own interactions is something that we believe is reflected onto the customer. So obviously our name is Carpet to Go. We were selling remnants and deals out of a warehouse, so it was like literally to go. And then we went into full retail, and obviously with inventions, the product categories have expanded, so we've gone into other product categories. So we changed our name to Carpet to Go Flooring to get people to understand that. And we also want people to understand that we do installation services as well. Traditionally, it's been carpet, hardwood, and sheet vinyl. Laminate came along maybe 20 years ago and then fell out of favor again because of some of the inherent weaknesses in the moisture resistance. And then recently they've created the LVP products that are very realistic looking, very affordable. They're totally moisture resistant. And now they've made upgrades to the laminate product. Again, it's a little more scratch resistant and still has the beautiful designs, and it's more moisture resistant than it was in the past. So you're seeing a trend away from the ceramic tile, the hardwoods, into these new products because they have such realistic looks. They're affordable, they're easy to install. And that's part of the education process. Is it gets a little bit confusing for people as they're coming in and they haven't seen these products, and they need somebody they trust to explain the products and the price points and what they can and can't do. We sell everything, but the trends are towards carpet, LVP, and the newer laminates that are coming out. I guess I'm a proponent of the laminates. Now they're much more moisture resistant, but they're very scratch resistant. You can basically bring a grinder to these products. A laminate is very realistic looking, but it's not hardwood, and there's an appeal to hardwood that everybody loves. All of us have been exposed to a situation where we've moved something, or our dog is sitting right at the doorway and they're scratching at it, and then you ruin your flooring. So I see scratch resistance as a really good feature in the product. It's improved over time, and people that experience in the past are like, no way, and you kind of need to educate them over the improvements that have been made. I'm going to start kind of more at the beginning because I talked about a little bit, but I want people to understand that we're very flexible to their needs from the very beginning. We recommend people come into the showrooms and take a look at everything we have, because people are surprised about how many products are available to them. We will make ourselves available to go into people's homes, bring the products with us. Either way is fine. And when we come into the home, we make it very convenient. We invest in technology to make sure that the process is simple for the consumer. So we're measuring quickly. We have tablets. We put together everything together in very simplistic terms. So it's very straightforward what we're charging for. There's no surprises. If they would like to move forward with the sale, then it's available to them, so they don't have to waste more time. We find that the prices are very good, and if they've been shopping, they're usually ready to move forward because we consult with them, and then our prices are very favorable. We do have to order the products for a lot of customers. Some are in stock. When the material comes in, we call you. Our people are great. They call, they communicate with you directly, find out what times sometimes work for you. We do move people's furniture. Some people feel like it's a especially daunting task because they don't know how they're going to move their furniture. We will move your furniture. We'll make the appointment at a time that's convenient for you. We will call the night before to confirm the time and that you're ready and everything's ready to go. We will even check and give you a text on the way in if you request it. Our installers have all been with us a long time. We have high standards for them. They're very professional. We do require them to go through inspecting the entire job with you because we want to make sure you're completely satisfied. Not every company does that. We communicate the entire job to you beforehand and then afterwards make sure it satisfies everything that you want. We do a follow-up call from our operations managers to make sure that you are fully satisfied with everything with your installation. Well, I've been in the business 30 years, but I feel like I'm always trying to make it better and make the company better where we're learning new things and new products. One of the issues, again, when we're talking about features and benefits and educating a consumer is you want to make sure you're getting a good value for the product that you're buying. People are kind of educating themselves about the product, and flooring seems relatively simple on the face of it, but carpet alone has different yarn types, different twist levels, different densities, different colors, fashion. And that's what we do through the education process is we explain that we've been in business 30 years. We haven't been in business 30 years as an accident. We do it based on the values we talked about giving good prices, by giving good quality, and educating people on how those products are going to fit for them. And then what happens at times is that people get a product that's potentially less expensive, but it doesn't work for their need. And something happens that's an ordinary part of your life that ruins that product, then it's an expensive error. So we just recommend that people find a place that's going to have good values, been in business a while, and is going to educate them for their sake so they can make an intelligent decision based on their budget. You got to do your own homework. You do need to find a partner that's going to give you an education in it because we have people come in and they've done some homework. There's a lot of different products to choose from, and especially even more now. And there's a lot of different designs and styles. I mean, our showrooms are anywhere from 5 to 30,000 square feet. They're filled with products. The key is don't believe that something is just simple and easy. Do the homework and then find people that you feel like you can trust. If you get a product that's cheaper, but it only lasts 2 or 3 years, that's not going to be something that you're going to be happy with. So you need somebody to explain the features and benefit as it fits your needs. We have a lot more homeowners that have pets now. So if you're looking at carpet, you want products that will withstand everything that pets do. I have a dog. I understand that they can come in off the back porch and get mud all over the place and hair and wear in certain areas. And you need to be aware of those eventualities and make your decisions with flooring to suit your specific needs. That would be my advice. We're actually investing our own. And again, I try to educate myself on all the fashion trends moving into the flooring business. We're in the process of doing that this week because we are seeing trends work away from grays a little bit more into beige or warmer colors, more natural colors. Too often we forget that this is a fashion for your house. The flooring coordinates with your furniture, with your paint, with everything. We tell people when they're redesigning to do their floors first because it is easier to pick furniture and paint. Paint is something you can more easily adjust than you can your flooring. LVP and laminate are the fastest growing products in the flooring industry by far as growth, not overall sales. Those products are something I think everybody needs to be aware of. And I would never talk somebody out of doing ceramic or hardwood if that's where their heart truly is. But people need to at least explore the new products because of the price and realistic looks that they have in the products now. Obviously, carpet is soft and it's comfortable. You're seeing it more in bedrooms and in upstairs. One thing people are unaware of is that in upstairs, that your floors may not be as level, and a lot of the hard surface products need to be level in order to be installed properly. So carpet is still very popular in the upstairs of homes. There's a natural appeal to carpet that I don't think we're ever gonna lose just because of its comforting feel. It's warmer to your touch as you get off your socks. It just feels good, and it's kind of a timeless product. Hardwood is for the person that really wants the natural look, but in certain areas we see that hardwood's certainly more prevalent. LVP and laminate will kind of categorize together. Those are newer products. I walk into homes and I can't tell the difference until I see exactly how it's installed because it's so realistic. There's actually products that mimic the pattern in the actual wood with the texture that's put into the product itself. And it's just extremely realistic with a lot of colors. They're more prepared and made for the things of life we have to deal with, like moisture and scratching. In general, they're more affordable than the natural products. And ceramic is still popular in bathrooms and showers, but we're seeing it continue to decrease. There's obviously a design component to ceramic that you can't really create with anything else. It is very scratch resistant. It's more expensive from a cost basis to install and that's really where they've made these newer products easier and quicker to be able to put in. I'm a homeowner just like everybody, and we get too complacent and we say we're going to do all these great things to keep up with our car when we get it. And the first time you bring your car home, and for the first 2 weeks, everybody has to take their shoes off before they get in, and we vacuum it and we're ready. And then 6 months later, you get busy with life and you turn around and you've thrown everything in it and it kind of gets forgotten. That's the most common thing, is that people don't stay up with the things that they need to. You get busy and you don't schedule a cleaning of your carpet once a year, which is really important. From a maintenance standpoint, you have to understand that the dirts and all get pushed down into the carpet and the yarns. The more that happens, the more likely it is to wear over time. So it's important that people keep up with those basic maintenance things. The hard surface, typically you have to vacuum them more or sweep them more because it doesn't get lost like it does in the carpet. You have to keep up with those things. Dirt can grind on the floors and cause premature wear in certain areas. So it's the basic overcoming of the difficult things we have in getting busy with our lives to keep up with it on a regular pattern. There's no magic. The products that you need to keep track of them are readily available. It's just mostly just keeping up with the basic maintenance plan that we will go over with you when you're done with your purchase, so you understand what needs to be done. It's a really good question, because as we all change and grow over a lifetime, I'm in a period where I've been doing this for 30 years, and I think some people, either through confidence or through just a habit, get complacent with what they've done. I've been fortunate to have my kids come into the business. I made a realization that once you think you know everything, that's when you really can learn everything. And I've done that. I kind of made a decision that I was going to learn new things now, and it's been fun. We go to shows, we go to conferences, and we're learning new things. I'm more active and going to listen to other people speak than I ever was before, because I've got a little bit more ability to look back and reflect, and I'm really enjoying it. I really feel like I'm learning more now than I did at the beginning, when I was overwhelmed dealing with the realities of everyday business. New technology is obviously something people that have been around a while, when we bring new people in as employees, the younger people look at us like, yeah, I know that. We have to learn those technology a little more forced, and that's making things interesting, and it's a benefit to the consumer. So we're investing in those technologies to make it where we can do things more quickly so we can serve the consumer. Most of the stories that I like to share are around the times that I started, when I would call myself kind of dumb. I started the business and I didn't have a forklift. I didn't realize the cash it would require to do it. So the stories about bringing in my first load and not having a forklift and trying to get 10 rolls off the back, for me, those are the ones I remember, because they were meaningful, and it's part of who I am and where I've grown to and where the company's come. And I think for the consumer and for others, there's like, we've actually done this and built it from scratch. We've been through difficult times, and when a consumer says something, we react to it and appreciate it. We've done it from scratch and learned the lessons that we can laugh about now, that at the time were interesting, and think to yourself, how did I get myself into this? I think what you see reflected in the reviews, we make sure that we're not just coming there to throw the floors down and then leave. We are there to make sure that you are a part of the process and understand it, and that you are happy with the final product. We are actively engaged in the communication with our installers when they show up. We make sure that everything was what you thought you were purchasing, that it's going to be installed the way you want it. Then we guide you through those steps in the process. We make sure that you're very satisfied and happy with everything you've done, and we follow up and say, did everything meet your satisfaction? As you see from the reviews, we typically get it right, because we want to make sure we get it right the first time. But if there's any issues that they've experienced, we go above and beyond to make sure that they're fully happy. We are able to get products at very competitive prices, and we are able to pass that on to the consumers. We've been in business for 30 years. We're a local company. I'm a consumer and I buy, like I've said before. And when you look at national chains, you might find people that aren't educated on the product. And then if you're running into installation, you're getting your installation scheduled, you're just dealing with somebody that has no connection to your project or your process or the things that you want. And then if you ever have an issue, trying to get in touch with somebody even on the phone is really difficult to accomplish. When you're dealing with somebody that's smaller, kind of family run business, you know you have people that their lives are totally built on the business itself, and that their success becomes the customer's success. I feel like we're a unique niche in that we serve the customer's needs. We'll come to their house, we'll measure, we'll give them a price there. If they'd like to come in a showroom, they have that capability, and that's just not true with a lot of people today. They don't have a showroom to be able to go into. You're going to find a very good value. As we've grown, you're not doing everything yourself to ensure that it's right. You have to take critical steps to make sure that everybody follows your important values and your vision. We established a mission statement from the beginning to say the core values that said, hey, these are the things that are important to us. And then we put systems in place to make sure that they're followed so that everybody is satisfied. And when your system doesn't work, you correct it. If we find something that goes wrong, we don't just continue on to the next project and cash the next check. We go through the process of saying, how can we do it better that this doesn't happen and that everybody is satisfied with the product they get? And we focus more time on our training, our systems, and our people here to make sure that the customer is happy with their final product.